Hi guys, 18 Dapper here and welcome to this match preview for this League 2 game down at Crawley. It's Crawley Town versus Doncaster Rovers. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview, Crawley Town versus Doncaster Rovers. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel and continuing to support the channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any future content. If this video is the first one that you've seen on the channel, this is the format that we go through match previews in. We look at previous meetings between the two clubs, we look at current form across all competitions. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player to say a few words about. I have a look at the opponents, one to watch. It's just my opinion, so you know your club much better than what I do. So please, in the comments down below, let us know if there should be somebody else that us Rovers fans should be watching out for in tomorrow's game. And then we finish the video off with 3 predictions. I predict the team lineup for this fixture. There's a predictions league table that me and the family are currently doing, and then the all-important score prediction to finish the video off. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings. So Rovers and Crawley not faced off too many times in our history, only 7 games between the two of us. Rovers coming out on top on 2 occasions. We've drawn 4 and Crawley have got the 1 victory out of the 7 games, so fairly even. We just edge it slightly. Looking back at the more recent 5 fixtures, we go back to 2014-15 season in League 1, and that was a 0-0 draw at home for the Rovers, and then we absolutely hammered Crawley 5-0 at their place. That'd be a nice scoreline on Saturday in tomorrow's game for sure. And then we jumped to the 2016-17 season in League 2, and it was all on as even. A 1-1 draw at the Keepmoat Stadium, and then a 0-0 draw away from home. And then earlier this season, it was a heavy 4-1 defeat for Crawley, a 4-1 win for the Rovers. And yeah, something like that would be lovely tomorrow to hopefully try and break into the top 7. But yeah, it's not looking good for Crawley. In our head-to-head, we just slightly edge it. And especially with their off-field issues at the minute and where they sit, we could get a decent scoreline once again. The 2 wins, heavy wins, heavy defeats as well. So yeah, if we get another win, could be another big scoreline. We will see. Current form does lean towards that as well. Donny coming into this one in better form with 3 wins in our last 5. It goes a win, a defeat, 2 wins, and then a defeat our last time out. Crawley, on the other hand, 1 win in their last 5, and coming into this one off the back of, well, without a win in 4, 3 defeats, and then a draw the last time they played a game. For the Rovers, though, a good first half last time out. Just didn't bring any joy. We failed to get any shots on target, but we were undone by a wonderful strike from Theo Archibald of Leyton Orient. If you follow my Twitter, you'll see that I questioned Mitchell's positioning. I still believe that had he not taken those 3 steps out to shout at his defence, he'd have been better positioned to potentially make a save. That's not taking anything away from the shot, but I do think that shot's been taken on because he's seen Mitchell stepping forward. But I'm no keeper, so I don't know what I'm on about. That's just my opinion. I think could have done better. Mitchell not got many clean sheets this season. There's a team effort for getting a clean sheet. No 2 ways about that. The defence need to do the job. Midfield and attack all need to do their defensive duties. But I do think there's been some errors from Mitchell that he could have done better with. But having said that as well, he's pulled off some fantastic saves to keep us in games. And unfortunately, as a keeper, you are the last line of defence. So it's either you keep us in a game or you looked at for fault. But that's where I am with that one. In terms of transfers for the Rovers, it's very quiet on the transfer front. I really hope there's irons in the fire. We need some recruits, we need some additions just to help the squad out. We've not got a big squad, and I think we're relying on younger players to overperform at the minute in comparison to where their progress currently is. So I do think we need a couple of shrewd additions in January. Hopefully they come in the coming days or weeks. Rovers, we are still positioned fairly well though, even though we've had a very inconsistent season. We're currently 10th, 1 point outside of the top 7. I think top 3 is probably getting away from us. Top 7 is probably our target, but honestly, at the minute, the way that the club is, I don't really want to go up. I think if we go up, we're going to really struggle in League One. I'd much rather see us have a solid January transfer window that prepares us for another good summer transfer window. I think the last summer transfer window was positive, so that'd be 3 positive windows on the bounce. Danny Schofield getting a few more of his players in to play his style and have a really good push at the top 3 next season, and be in a better position for League One the season after. But like I say, we're positioned fairly well at this stage of the season to get into the playoffs, and that's a lottery when you get in there. On Crawley though, lots of things going off of the field, which seems to be having a negative impact on it, with them struggling to find any sort of form at the wrong end of the League Two table. NFT investors, Wagme United, which stands for We're All Going to Make It, I believe, took over in April 2022 and recently appointed their 5th manager since taking over. But it seems that they took over quite a negative culture, and that's going to take some time to iron out and to kind of steady the ship. And on steadying the ship, that job falls to Scott Lindsay, who's recently been appointed, moving over from Swindon, which was a bit of a surprise appointment. Swindon doing very well in League Two, but he said that the offer was very exciting, so we'll get to see a very different Crawley Town to the team that we beat 4-1 earlier in the season. Hopefully it's not too dissimilar to what we saw earlier on in the season, and we get the victory in tomorrow's game. But Scott Lindsay will be he'll be looking to get off to a very good start in his first game, so could be a tough one. On to player profile, I have gone with Tommy Rowe in this video. 34 years old, left midfielder. He's only played 10 games this season so far, and in those 10 games he managed to get 1 goal and 1 assist. But his experience is invaluable around a very young squad. 592 appearances across his career, 87 goals and 58 assists. Unfortunately for Tommy though, a back spasm in training around Christmas has pushed him back. He was supposed to be coming back into the squad around this time, but there's been a reoccurrence of that back spasm, and it's looking like the end of January before he comes back. And I do feel that we're missing his presence on the pitch. Like I say, 10 games so far this season's not a great deal, but I just think we're missing his creativity and the amount of talking and communicating and just his whole presence on the pitch. I do feel that we're missing. I think Kyle Hurst is doing a superb job standing in and is performing, as I said earlier in the video, probably above where his progress currently is. And this is where you need seasoned professionals like Tommy Rowe to be fit and be playing, so that pressure gets taken off of the young lads, so they can actually learn and grow and progress how we want them to. So hopefully it's not too bad of an injury. Hopefully we don't see a reoccurrence of it as we're coming towards the end of January and Tommy's back in for the last push towards the end of the season. But yeah, I do feel that we're missing him on the pitch at the minute. Moving on to the one to watch. So as I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than what I do. So if you don't believe that this player's the one to watch for Crawley, let us know in the comments down below. But I have gone with Ashley Naderson. I hope I've pronounced his second name right. 28 years old, centre forward. 26 appearances this season, 6 goals and 5 assists. Obviously Tom Nichols is a fantastic player, but the craziness off the field continued. He's moved to Gillingham, one of Crawley's massive rivals towards the bottom end of the table. But I think him leaving has made me go towards Ashley. He's got the most goal contributions in the squad with 6 goals and 5 assists this season. So I think a lot goes through him or to him. So I think if we can nullify him as a threat, we've got a chance of coming away with all 3 points tomorrow. We will see though. Hopefully doesn't get on the score sheet or assist. So yeah, Ashley Naderson for the one to watch for Crawley for me. Moving on to the predicted team lineup. So this is thanks to FanHub. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into. And for me, predicted team lineup, with the squad that we've got at the minute, I can't see Danny Schofield changing it. I'm going with Mitchell in goal, a back three of Noyle, Williams and Anderson, Seaman and Maxwell as wing backs, and then the midfield of Biggins, Close, Molyneux and Hurst a little bit further forward supporting George Miller up top on his own. I think that is probably the best that we've got available at the minute. Clayton might be back in the mix, but I feel when he's on the pitch it slows it down far too much. I think that positive first half, although we didn't get shots on target at Leyton Orient, I feel we went toe to toe with top of the table, a very good team. So I think keep that squad together and get a good performance and a good result tomorrow. So that's my predicted team lineup for this one. Onto the Predictions League table. So if you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single league game. If we get it spot on, we get 3 points. The outcome of the game right, but not the scoreline, we get 1 point. If we get it completely wrong, we get no points. And the positivity once again for the family when we went to Leyton Orient. I went with a draw, my dad went with a draw, Chris and Max went with wins. So no change in the table. I need to get some points on the board. 9 points, rock bottom, miles away from Max, who is currently top on 18, Chris in second on 16, and Dad in third on 11. And that takes me on to the score prediction for this one. Hopefully this is spot on and I get 3 points for the Predictions League table. It's going to be a different Crawley to what we saw earlier in the season. I think tails will be up, they'll be wanting to get a good result for Scott Lindsay's first game in charge. But I'm hoping that the quality that we've got shines through. We will only find out at 5 o'clock tomorrow, but I've got belief that we're going to get the 3 points. I've got belief that it's going to be a decent performance and a comprehensive 3-1 win. And that's where I'm going to leave this one. If you've enjoyed it, please stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.